Oh, yeah. Well, Bella was the first person ever email the.
All right, and good evening, Triple Moon, Strika, Aslo, Toot, and Microman. How are you guys doing tonight? Toot, you're vibrating like a peach. You've been on a roll lately. And two brain cells, how you doing tonight? All right, well, Church Legal Center, hello back to John. And Toot, I am doing very well tonight. How are you doing? Other than vibrating like a peach. And B Cheeks 88. Yeah, we're getting ready to go. And we appreciate that, dude. All right, just so you guys are aware, just like every other live stream, this one is an AMA. So if you guys have questions for Jackal, go ahead and start getting them in chat, and we will get through as many of them as we possibly can. We do have the entire team here tonight. So if you guys have econ questions, if you guys have business related questions, or if you guys have tech questions, go ahead. We can get them all answered.
You thought I was muted, didn't you? I'm not muted. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome to the Podcast Live. Give it up for yourselves. Thank you for joining us. The Podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door and talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. See that? Says it right there on the screen. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I am your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, Belle. How are we doing tonight, Belle?
I will be doing fantastic if you tell me you turned off B2.
I turned off B2. Come on, I'm a professional. We have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, Jackal, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo is no longer acceptable, and it's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto and welcome to the podcast. And one more round of applause, giving it up for all of you. So, I am not even gonna. And by the way, do you guys like the tie? It's like a job interview for me tonight. We were going for the shock factor, so I thought, you know what, wear a tie. I've never done that, but I'm not even gonna pretend that we have that you guys are here to listen to me talk tonight. You guys are here for Jackal, and we got him here, and we have him standing by. But this is still the podcast, so I get to do my bit before we hammer him. I told Jackal, I told everybody, and Emery says that they are aware of the show, so they are also aware of the smartness of this audience, which is hands down the best and brightest on the YouTube. I told him that when you are speaking to this audience, you better come correct, because if you don't, they will damn sure point it out. You guys do it to me all the time. I give you money when you do. Thank you for fact-checking me. So, folks, this is not going to be about me. It's not going to be about Bella. This is going to be about you. What do you want to know about Jackal? You keep the questions coming, and I promise you that they will get asked. Now, why am I excited about Jackal? You know what? There's a couple big reasons. The first is that I have been working data storage, legacy data storage. I've been doing it for years. These enormous gray windowless buildings that you see going up everywhere. That's where I work. And I work for some very, very big names. This is what I do. All right, this is what I do. I know the industry. I know the infrastructure, and I know the cost. Now, that's an important bullet point for anybody who's writing anything down. I know the cost. I know what it takes to store those files and photos, medical records, tax records, personally identifiable information, things that you simply cannot allow to get out. But even with all of this knowing, and we all know it, breaches still happen. Ransomware still happens. Data still gets out. It happens every day. Storage is done the way that it's done because this is how it's always been done. The desire for a better way of doing it has not even been considered. Why would it? Why? People will pay for whatever is offered, and the model works. Why tinker with it? This is an enterprise, global, in the hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars. And you pay not only to store, you pay for the upkeep. This is a massive business, bigger than you could even possibly understand. So why would they change? Then along comes Jackal, this little upstart, who has, in fact, found that there is a better way, a safer way, a cheaper way that not only stores your files, but removes them from the eyes of the planet. All right? Nobody, not even Jackal, knows where your files go, who they came from, or where they are going. Nobody knows but you, because they are your files, and nobody needs to know. I can never stress this enough, no matter how much I try, man, but privacy, all right? True privacy. This is not optional. It is an absolute right. And Jackal made the system that will give it to you. Now, from a pure investment standpoint, and I know my audience is what you're here for. How do I make money on this? How do I make money on this? Let me ask you this. Can you think of any enterprises, in particular, legacy world-facing enterprises, who might benefit from anonymity in their file storage? Law firms, hospitals, tax firms? Can you think of any businesses that might benefit from better, safer, cheaper data storage? Do you think that businesses might, on occasion, look at the price of their infrastructure? Do you think it matters to them? I'm just saying. So again, along comes Jackal, who can do all of these things. And if I sound like a fanboy, I assure you, I absolutely am. They are right in my wheelhouse. This is what I do. I can't speak on the tokenomics. We got Emery to do that. I can't speak on the specifics of the method, but Marston can, and he's here. I cannot speak on the future plans of the company. But guess who else is here? Patrick, and he can speak on all of these things. I am fanboying because I have dedicated most of my life to maintaining the infrastructure of these behemoths, and I never thought that I would see something different. Jackal is something different, so I'm a fan. And I did say two big reasons. The second big reason is that I'm kind of tired of talking about DEXs. I want to talk about products, blockchain products, innovative products, legacy world-facing products. So, ladies and gentlemen of the podcast, with no further ado, I bring you Jackal. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? Bell, Marston, Patrick, Emery, how are we doing? I'm going to give you guys the very first question. I saw it in chat, even though I never look at chat. But you know what? I'm going to direct it right to you, Patrick. Here's the question. Ready? What is Jackal? What is Jackal?
Okay, so Jackal's a few things, but the flagship product that we're creating, it's a peer-to-peer network that is between Filecoin and the Secret network. We leverage Filecoin for cold storage and archiving and the discovery layer through IPFS for our network. We have our own peer-to-peer network of decentralized nodes. And the reason why we have this is kind of like an information highway to bring that speed utility to the data storage that we crave and we're used to when you compare us to legacy companies. And on the flip side, we also leverage the Secret network. And the reason why we leverage the Secret network is it's truly the only place where we can have programmable privacy in the metadata of smart contracts. What that brings is the ability, and probably it definitely is the only solution on market where the end user has privacy and is self-custodial of their cloud storage.
See, so that's excellent, man, because I was about to jump on you. You are the only person doing this.
Yeah, it does seem like that. And then the road we came to get here, and we talked about it last time we were on your pod, but yeah, we were just trying to create an e-discovery tool originally, really. And we realized that there's nowhere that is safe to store evidence before the courts that is in a safe and a private manner. If you store with AWS or Google, you have this issue where has a third party that has access to the data, and that's not a clean forensic environment when you're working with evidence. You can throw a server in the back of the office. It's not really great either because you have the centralized choke point of failure where you can have fires and worst case scenario situations. So what we decided to do is we started to tiptoe into decentralized data storage, and every single product in the decentralized storage space is really innovative and really, really cool. But what they all lacked was one of a few things. It was either they lacked the speed, they lacked the utility, and almost all of them lacked privacy where you're self-custodial. If there's privacy from other competitors right now, it usually comes from a centralized choke point of failure. Where, for example, you have Pinata, has to run through usually the centralized choke point that has access to the data, which makes it private because you have a third party that's custodial of it, really.
Well, it's the centralized VPN argument. It absolutely is a centralized VPN argument. You might use, I don't know, what's a popular VPN? Nord. You might use Nord. And that's great because, look, now we're on a VPN. Once you get to Nord and go out, you are. But from you to Nord is not. That is them, and they have absolute access to everything that you're doing. That's exactly what you just said. So it is effectively the same thing. And I've been making this argument for a long, long time. We might think that they're safe. We might think that they're private. They are neither. They are neither. Somebody can always see it. That's why when you guys were on this podcast the very first time, and that was months ago, wasn't that a while ago? But when you
Feels
guys
like a
were on
lifetime.
here and Marston said he could do it, I said, there's no way you can do it. I said, I don't see how you can do it, man. If it could have been done, it would have been done already. And yeah. And yet it hasn't. And here we are. That's why I'm so very, very, very excited about this, man. Look, I'm going to stop. I've been fanboying way too much, guys. And I'm going to stop, and I will be a professional host. And do you guys like the tie, by the way? Is this enough of a shock to your system to actually see me clean? I shaved and everything, man. I was ready for this. All right. So we're going to be carrying on, and we're going to be jumping back and forth, but I want to make sure that everybody on the stream has got their chance to have their say. Belle, do we have any questions, comments, concerns?
Oh yeah, we have questions.
Serve
First
it
one
up.
coming in from Jack Sparrow. He's got a 3-question set. Is there a marketing plan for the product? Will there be roles? For example, if I own a business and I want to assign someone to move files but not delete permissions, will there be different tiers for data storage, or is it unlimited? Do they have a roadmap? Yeah, he's got a lot of good questions. Have they run into any issues developing on secret? And do they plan to have governance?
Yeah, so let's roll this all the way back to when you have an organization and you want to manage permissions. Jackal's very, very granular for permissions, and I think I'll let Marston speak to that in about 2 seconds. But the other really great thing about Jackal is the file version control. When you have large organizations, the versions of the files get out of control, and you don't know who has what at what time, and then there's all these copies. And we see this from our previous jobs where evidence would go to court, for example, and it's the metadata says that the digital file was created the day before, and you kind of lose control. But with Jackal, you have really granular permissions and really great file version control. I'll let Marston talk to how the permission system works, though.
Yeah, I mean, so on our system, every single file and folder, they all have their own permissions, and that comes down to like read and write permissions. You specify per address who you want to be able to read, who you want to be able to write. If you want the file to be totally public from a reading perspective, if you want it to be totally public from a writing perspective, everything comes down to that. And there are ownership permissions, so you can change the permissions of others if you're above them on the hierarchy, except for the read and write. There's a whole lot of permission systems in place in our smart contract that we, on our wiki, I think we go over them pretty well. And then from there, it's really, really great from a privacy perspective, because if I query a file and I don't have permission, the system just says there's no file. But if I do have permission, it shows up. So if I don't have permission to access a file, but I'm like querying something that I know is there, it won't go through, and it'll look just the same as if there was nothing there to anybody that isn't supposed to have access to these things. So you could build a full corporate structure out. In one folder, you could create new files, and then those files could have permissions totally decoupled from its parent folder. Every file that gets generated inherits permissions from its parent, unless you go in and change them, and then you can change every single thing you want. So it really comes down to like every single file has permissions for every single user if you want it to. And that's part of the thing that we found most decentralized systems were lacking before.
Well, I'm going to pile onto this one just a little bit because this is still my show. Are you saying that you can do all that now? Or is this something that you would like to develop in the future?
Oh yeah, it's done now from a contract perspective. We're still working it into the interface, but from a contract side of things, like I don't know if you guys saw, but we had that web gateway preview.
No, I wasn't even told there was a web gateway preview. Emery, was there, and you just didn't mention it to me, babe?
I'll go grab a link and I'll let Belle share it in the chat there.
Yeah. Okay. So we had it set up a little bit where in my personal test Jackal account, I had an HTML file that I was hosting, and all it says is you are viewing this through the Jackal gateway. And then on a completely separate system, we had another little bit of software running that was basically just a web server with the Jackal account linked in. And I was able to share my HTML file from my account to the account running on that server. And then I had an opening on it running so that anybody that queries files, if that server has access to view them, it'll display them in your web browser. So I had a full web server running where my actual files were hosted on my Jackal account, and any web gateway that I wanted to give permission to view it, it was just already running and ready to go.
Yeah, see, I didn't know about any of this, Emery. I hadn't heard about any of this. This is the very first time that I'm hearing this when I'm interviewing the people who are talking about it. I've never heard it before. This is mind-blowing.
I actually told you about it a little bit ago.
You did not. Bell, back me up here. This is absolutely
I haven't heard a thing about this.
This is mind-blowing to me because, honestly, man, look, I see Jackal as enterprise-facing. I absolutely see value being poured in from your law firms, tax firms, insurance firms, people who are holding proprietary PII and don't want this stuff to get out. I absolutely see them as your target audience, but there are features that are going to have to be implemented before that could happen, actually be in. And these are the features that you're talking about right now. So it seems like you guys have already spotted this. Honestly, it was a concern for me. I was going to ask this, and now it just came out of nowhere. So I'm a bit disappointed because that was kind of my gotcha. And now I don't have one. Now I'm going to have to dream up something else. It's a little disappointing. I'm sorry to the podcast audience, man. I was going to smack them around, but it looks like they beat me to it. All right, Belle, what else we got?
All right, Robbie Smith, will the Jackal token appear in the drop-down token list on my Kepler wallet once the token drops, or will I need to add it? Will it be in... Oh, it goes on. Will it be in beta section? How much will the service cost per month?
Wow, good questions. That sounds like an Emery one on that one. And you haven't gotten to talk and show off that shiny new microphone, Emery. Why don't you take this one?
Yeah, sure. So when Jackal launches, you will absolutely be able to see it in your Kepler wallet, and you'll be able to add the token in the usual fashion. This might be a good time to talk about how and when we're launching Jackal. Are we okay with that, Patrick? Or do you want to handle that one?
No, absolutely.
In the Cosmos network, the bridge and the connector, everything is osmosis, as a lot of the podcast members are aware of. And in order to add a token that has not yet appeared in your wallet, normally you have to go and make an interaction on the deposit screen of the assets in Osmosis, and you will do the exact same thing for Jackal. So that being said, the best way to add Jackal to your Kepler wallet, if and when it does not show up, is to hit the deposit button in Osmosis, and it'll authorize that Kepler transaction, and you'll be able to deposit and withdraw Jackal to and from Osmosis.
Wait a minute. So, but for it to be on Osmosis, can't be a level 2. I mean, am I mistaken about this?
We can start talking.
There have been
1.5 if you would like, Henry, as well.
Yeah.
Wait, I want you to just answer the question, dude. Are you a level 2? Or are you a level 1? Because up to now, we've been under the impression that you're a level 2.
We're a level 1.
Go ahead.
Somebody answer it.
It's an L1.
So you're a level 1. So you guys are not a level 2. We've been under the impression that you've been a level 2, and therefore you're only going to show up on like CFI and all the other ones that handle SNP 20. So you're saying you're a level 1. And if you're a level 1, you're going to show up right there on Osmosis. And our audience knows Osmosis. We know what it is, how it works, how to manipulate it. We know all of these things. But up until now, we were under the impression that you're a level 2 SNP 20, and that's going to be it. Are you saying that you're not?
Yeah, so we became an L1 so that we can access the largest market in the Cosmos ecosystem, which is Osmosis. And also we can maintain that privacy where you can wrap it into SNP 20 since it's a native token, and it'll also appear on all the decentralized SNP 20 dexes as well, from Secret Swap to Hydro to Shade to Sienna. It can be everywhere it needs to be.
See, this is again. I'm taking up the whole screen. By the way, you guys, you guys are over on the little shorty screen over there. This is absolutely mind blowing to me because of the potential that this opens up. The fact that you are an L1 and not a SNP 20. Because if you're a level 1 here, you can effectively go anywhere. You can go anywhere that Marston can make it happen. As the blockchain developer, he could probably put you guys damn near anywhere. Now, I'm not a big fan of speculative tokens. I'm not. I never have been. I've never said it in the year plus we've been doing this show. I've never said that I'm a big fan of it showing up everywhere. However, because you guys... it's a crypto in name only, all right? You guys are a business. You are a use case. You are a business that is going to rely on development. And for people to know about you, you're going to have that kind of visibility. So the fact that people can see this token showing up everywhere and say, wow, I wonder what Jackal is. Click the little drop down, read about it, and say, you know what? This is pretty neat. I can use data storage. Maybe I should look into that. So from a visibility standpoint, I think he just knocked it out of the park. Now, that's my opinion. What the hell do I know? But I think you guys absolutely slam dunk this one. Okay, you know what? I'm done talking. This is not even my show now. This is the Jackal show. I see Patrick getting all frowny face. Are you just tired, dude, or what?
It's been a lot of late nights over at Jackal HQ for probably about 3 months now.
No, I get it. Is this the first time you've mentioned to the public that it's an L1? Because come tomorrow, everybody's going to know.
Yeah, so Jackal is an L1. The economic paper is going to be coming out after the show, and it will display that Jackal is an L1. But the contract that leverages the storage of Jackal is built on the secret network, and it still gets value captured to the secret network.
That's awesome. You guys are a hybrid. You are just an absolute L1.5 hybrid. Right. I think that's wonderful. Belle, take it away.
All right, so next question coming in from Microman. The big question: Jackal appeals to those of us in crypto. We will pay in crypto. How will you guys do deals with companies who are fully in the fiat system? How will they pay for Jackal's services?
Yeah, so to protect the underlying infrastructure that is Jackal, we have to make sure that we protect that in the way that we can't take Visa, we can't take credit card. So what we're planning on doing, and this is what makes Jackal special, is we rely on white labelers that are going to be reselling the product to these legacy enterprises that need to take Visa and also need specific legislation in a specific geographical region. So if someone's listening right now and they say, hey, I want to sell decentralized data storage that has the highest security posture on market to a law firm in my region, and that wants to be my target market, what you're able to do is you can stake a certain amount of Jackal tokens, you can unlock enterprise bandwidth, build a front end that you need for a specific industry's use case, front load all the compliance issues, and then you can resell it with a lot of margin, might I add, because we're so cheap. But that's the go-to-market plan for the B2B side of the business, where we rely on people to white label the product and bring it to market. And we're going to be like white labeling some of it ourselves as well. So we can, on one side, maintain the integrity and the security of the underlying infrastructure, and on the flip side, still provide a world-class service to businesses around the world as well.
Man, that is perfect. Belle, please take it away.
All right, next question coming in from Toot. When Jackal merch?
I've been busting you guys about that. I've been pitching your product that didn't even exist for months, and all I asked for was a T-shirt. You never got me the T-shirt, man. So
we don't have T-shirts either.
For
yet.
your show,
I'm
wearing a tie. I'm doing all this. I said, oh, to show off. I didn't even get that. You are literally, if you go looking at the stream, look right above my head. What do you see there? What do you see? You see Jackal. I've been all over this one, man. But honestly, for me personally, it's self-interest. You guys are going to make a fortune, and I plan on riding your back all the way up so that I can get some also. Belle, please carry on. They're not going to answer the merch question.
Robbie Smith, will Jackal have sales reps?
Yeah, so a large, almost 50% of our costs from our budget is human capital. And when you provide an infrastructure like this, you need a lot of human capital. It's really time intensive. So what we're looking to do is we kind of are split into two kind of teams here. There's a bunch more teams, but from a broad scheme of things, when we're looking to onboard people, we have the integrations and sales teams that are going to be focused on integrating with different products and going around and trying to help with the onboarding of different business use cases. And then on the other side, we have dev support and really great documentation building and stuff along those lines. And what that is that's supporting the people that are looking to build on our infrastructure. This is really important to us because we want us to have an ecosystem of really, really great decentralized applications for all kinds of different use cases, which all drive value capture back to our token holders. So yes, we will have, I guess, salespeople that are going to be doing sales. We're also going to be having a lot of devs that are going to be doing the dev support as well.
So let me piggyback on that one just a sec, Bell, and then we'll get back to the question. So just for giggles, let's say that Scott was a real smart guy and wanted to build, say, medical record storage, and I wanted to host it specifically for me. Are you saying that I could build it on Jackal and I could have all of the security, all the privacy, the cost advantages, everything that I'm doing? I could basically just build it on Jackal, and you guys will be happy to let me do it.
Yes.
Okay, that's a great answer, man. Just like that. Belle, please take it away. They're an ecosystem. Love it.
Strika, so are you similar to, say, Akash?
Yeah, I'll let Marston do the difference between us and Akash, but there's a few fundamental differences between us.
Yeah, so Akash is really, really great, and we have a lot of intersection points, and we also have a lot of differences that make us work really, really well together. The main thing is Akash is a cloud computing layer. So traditional software like Node.js servers, if you're running like a C++ program, you can't do that on the blockchain, but you can do that on an Intel processor, and Akash lets you rent those. And with Jackal, we only do storage. So if you can store something, it's great for Jackal. The thing is, Jackal can't do math. So if you need to store a bunch of stuff that you're going to be putting through some sort of math or algorithm or anything, or even if that's just something like having a server that hosts a website, but that website's a little more complicated and needs like a database, maybe that's like a SQL database or something, that all needs to be done not on Jackal. And so with Akash, what you can do is you can run all of that computing power on Akash and use Jackal as a storage layer for it. So all your files and everything are stored on Jackal, while all of the math and computing is happening over on Akash. And they work really, really well together, but they're not quite the same.
So when you also look at the way that Akash works really well with Skynet from Filecoin right now, the relationship between Jackal and Akash could be very, very similar, and we would promote any integration with them at any time.
Excellent. Excellent. I hope that guy answered the question for you guys. Belle, please carry on.
Microman, wow. So the real power is the granularity in the permission system. Is that something that is only possible with the blockchain, or could it be replicated elsewhere?
I mean, you could have it done in something like traditional Web 2, where somebody's email address is what's going through all the permissions and you have a username and password. But you're trusting a third party to manage all those permissions for you. So that introduces a lot of security vulnerabilities, because if one person's controlling all the permissions, they could just take the permissions away from the owner at any given point. Another thing is a username and password would be really the only way to get in there, unless you want to build your own cryptographically signed system. But in that case, you're dipping your toes into the crypto market anyways. And so that's just generally less secure. So it's doable, but it would just be not as elegant and secure.
You can also add another thing when you talk about granularity. Communications, for example, between a lawyer and a client, is something called solicitor client privilege. Right now, almost all communications go through Zoom or go through email or go through text. And that means that a third party has access to all your privileged information, which is not ideal, but it's the only option that they have. With Jackal, if you have your private keys in a ledger and you want to have communications between only two parties, whether that be yourself and your lawyer, that is a situation where only those two people have access to that information. Another interesting use case is if you have a private key within a Ledger wallet and that's the only access to your Jackal storage root folder, and you hand that to your lawyer, that Ledger wallet and all the data on the Jackal system also becomes solicitor client privilege as well. So when you look at it like secure communications, whether that be for legal, evidence, military use cases, hospitals, and all that kind of stuff, it's really granular, and it makes sure that only the people who have access truly have access. We can't access your files because only the end user with the private key can.
Excellent question. And Bell, I glanced at one of the questions, so I'm gonna ask him and let him know. So, MJ, would you trust Jackal with your seed phrase? I'm gonna answer this one as opposed to the people who built it. During the Jackal Alpha, I had access. You guys saw me doing videos on it. I took a Kepler wallet and I put $2,500 worth of osmosis in it. It was a brand new wallet. I just created it. I put $2,500 worth of osmosis in it. I put the seed phrase on a single document, and during the Jackal Alpha, I uploaded it. The 2,500 plus, well, it's not quite 2,500 anymore, man. Osmo's been getting a shellacking, but I'm just saying that the money is still there. So I not only believe it'll do it, but trust it to do it because I understand the underlying fundamentals of this one, but I did it myself, all right? I would never tell some. Why are you laughing, Patrick? Did you see the document? Is that, no, I want to put you up on screen, man. Let's make sure everybody sees you. Did you guys actually secretly see it and see that that was a time bomb that I put up into your own system to see if somebody would get cute? Is that what it is?
No one should ever upload your seed phrase during an alpha test of anything.
Yes, but I did it anyway. I absolutely did it anyway. And the $1,740 that are still in there, man. Osmo's been getting beat up. But yeah, I absolutely did it, man. I did it during the alpha. I want to see.
It would have during the time that you were testing, it would have all gone through one server, and we didn't see it go through. So
I'm just saying, guys, the money's still there. It's still there. And here's what we're doing because we're so excited about this product. I still have this wallet, guys. I still have the seed phrase. All right. Now, if some things line up the way that we're expecting them to line up, if they do, we're going to do a live stream, and I'm going to give away the seed phrase to that wallet. All right. We're going to give it to one person. Secretly, we're not going to broadcast it over the thing, but somebody's going to win that wallet. Whatever's in there is going to belong to you if everything lines up. I just want to let you know that, yeah, this is coming. So, Belle, please carry on. I just had to have some fun with that question.
Oh, I can make that giveaway a little bit more fun. The winner of that, what you were just talking about, yeah, they have to drop us their RNS.
There we go. We will. We'll only transfer you the coins on an RNS. By the way, I own like 15 of them now. I just keep buying more and more of these RNSs. It's funny. I've tried to get Jackal DAO. I've tried all kinds of different ways to do it with like 2 spaces or underscores or stuff like that because I really want a Jackal hat. And I don't think you're going to give it to me unless I give you that RNS. So there we go.
Just to touch on that, when you talked about uploading seed phrases to accounts, we're actually thinking about doing a bug bounty program where we tell people what the CID of the file is and try to break in and different ideas around that. So it's really funny that you came up with that yourself.
I love that, dude. Come on, man. I'm always going to do it. Dude, I did it on Button Group. I did it on Button Swap, man. The guy, you know what? People are just, it's way out here. All right, way out here in the altcoin field, back where in the wildest of the Wild West, that all of this beautiful innovation is taking place. And I'm sorry, man. I'm more than happy to exist here because you get to see stuff that nobody's ever going to see, and we get to see it here first. This is why we do what we do. Belle, please carry on.
All right. Well, Robbie Smith hit us with the $4.99 super chat. So I'm going to say thank you, Robbie, for that one.
You guys all get $1. Thank you.
Alexander P. Win airdrop.
Oh, Emery.
Yeah, we've been answering this question for the last week or so. And the answer to that question is soon.
Well, now, if you guys were anybody else, I'm sure you've seen the podcast before. And if you were anybody else, I would absolutely pin your ears back right now, man, because come on, I owe it to my viewers. I owe it to the people who have supported this program all this time. Emery, right now, you tell me the date. You've got to know, man. You got to have an idea.
It's
go ahead.
It's going to be by the end of this quarter. That'll be for sure. Right now, what's going on is a lot of changes have happened, and we are just finished the Econ paper actually, and that's going to be published after the show. But there's a lot of stuff that has to go into before we airdrop at all. We're talking about security audits. We're talking about all kinds of things. So a lot of things are out of our control as well that you have to take into account.
So are you pointing your finger at somebody? Who are you pointing your finger at? Name them. Give me their name. Because, dude, I will go live. I will call them, and I'll do everything I got to do.
There's been a lot. There's been a confluence of events that make the airdrop a little bit more. It'll make the airdrop a little bit more complicated than it would seem. So it's been delayed just a little bit, but it will be coming as soon as possible. We don't want to keep our users waiting.
No, you don't want to keep it. That's like them bringing me the bill at the restaurant, and it's more than I thought because it was a little bit harder to cook than they thought it would be. So we're going to need a date here, man, and I'm going to be hammering on you over and over and over. You know, it's nothing personal. I got nothing but love for you, but we do have an audience podcast. There we go. All right, Belle, please carry on. Any question but that one.
Old man. Ooh, does that mean Jackal could appear in Sift Chain?
Emery, I think you're the guy to answer.
From a technical standpoint, yes, it is. It's possible. We've been talking to several other decentralized exchanges, and Sift Chain is something that we could possibly expand in the future.
Which other decentralized networks have been talking to? Which other dexes? Name them.
We've been talking with.
Yeah.
Well, we Sienna Network, Secret Swap, Hydro, Shade Protocol guys, Osmosis, and pretty much anywhere that we want to be on anywhere that you like to get your tokens.
What about Crescent? Have you guys called Crescent? There are nobody listed on there, dude. They'd love to have you.
Yeah, we haven't reached out to them yet, and they're pretty new right now, so we have to do a little bit of DD before we reach out to them, but I'm sure we'll end up reaching out to them very soon as well.
Excellent, man. The better it is, or the more place it is, the more visibility you get for a product, not a DEX. Belle, please carry on.
All right. So, Microman, I have a friend who has a small accountancy business in the UK. The privacy aspects of Jackal sound fantastic. But is there anything else I can give them specifically for that sector?
Ooh, so this is something that we've actually been working on, is building industry-specific plugins and industry-specific front ends. This is something we want to lean on our community to build for your own use cases. So if you wanted to, for example, spin up a white labeling service in the UK, abide by the EU privacy laws there, and then start issuing the product with a front end that's built for them, that is a great thing to do, obviously. But we're also building plugins. We're looking at building an Elasticsearch plugin and other plugins for specific use cases that we've been asked from our pilots so far.
Excellent.
And,
Belle, please.
And more on that, if you don't mind. Everyone knows at the podcast that I do crypto taxes, which I'm so glad that's over. But that's something that I'd really love to look into myself, because transporting that file, that data that I'm given, if it were to be going through Jackal, there are no legacy systems right now that would just have a clean and simple plug and play to that Web3 product. That's something I would love to be looking forward to do in the future.
So are we talking Emery's tax token? Is that what we're talking about here, man? Is it going to be a new blockchain?
I don't really be a new blockchain, but
you can think of it this way as well, Scott. In the event that we can create paywalls, and then we can, since we have privacy where only the individual that has permissions to view the file can access the file, and we add a little bit of NFT compatibility or things along those lines. I'm not sure of the whole technical side of things for that, but we can start to look at a way that, and you say no more DEXs, but you can think of having a DEX that's only for professional services, where you can have deliverables being transferred through our platform. So anything that you could purchase on Fiverr, for example, could also be delivered through our system, where you only receive if it was built on another system anyway, could just query the deliverable from the professional services. So in this case, you can actually have deliverables being moved all around on chain as well through our system.
Now, I'm not going to let you off here because that was a very eloquent answer, almost like you guys have been talking about doing something exactly like this behind the scenes. Have you guys been talking about doing something exactly like that behind the scenes? Are we expecting to see Jackal 1.5 coming out, which will be able to do everything that you just mentioned?
Yeah, so we've been approached by multiple people that are looking to build something along these lines, whether it's like a Fiverr-like marketplace or industry-specific marketplaces. So we've been talking with everyone, and if this is something that interests you, we would love for you to come and build it yourself or have our support. But if no one builds it, we'll probably get around to building it.
There it is. That's what I was looking for, man. It's a great idea. And if
Yeah.
nobody else does it, are you going to do it? That's all I'm looking for. That's all we're looking for here on the podcast.
We'll do it all with all our free time, Scott.
Yeah, I know. Look at you, dude. I swear, man, and this is a sidebar. You guys both look 10 damn years older than you did 4 months ago when you were on this show the first time. I cleaned up my act. Look at me, man. I'm in a tie, and you guys just look beat up. But you know what? Honestly, man, as an investor, I want you tired. That means you're working. That means you're working hard to build out your vision, man. I'm sorry. I'm so proud that we're actually at this moment. Belle, please carry on.
All right, Sofa Ninja, for those of us that will get the Jackal airdrop, where will we receive it?
Arston?
Yeah.
You guys all passing the buck.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a claiming process. It's basically just gonna be a button that says claim, and then a few days later it will be in your Kepler wallet once you add our chain to your Kepler wallet.
So no great mystery here. Not a problem. We get the name, we hit claim, we get the date, we hit claim, and it shows up. No real big mystery here.
It's pretty straightforward.
There you go. Belle, please carry on.
All right, Sylvie it sounds like the white paper is finished now. Has the utility of the Jackal token changed from your vision a month ago? With the announcement of being an L1, L1.5, it seems like there has been a pivot.
Yeah. Well, when you start to talk about, like, let's go back to the different utilities of the token. The Jackal token does a lot of things, and number one, it's most importantly, it incentivizes and then gives rewards to people that are providing storage, and that's the most important thing that trumps everything else. Number two, it has to incentivize stakers, so people participating in our governance. Other utilities include collateral for different smart contract use cases, also collateral for the nodes themselves in case you're a bad node, you get slashed. We can talk about all kinds of different utilities for the token as well. It's staking, liquidity providing, but also when you start to look at what the token is, it's really a value accrual token where all of our revenue streams kick back to our token holders. And that's why we want to increase the intrinsic value of the token itself. So when you pay for Jackal with the product, what occurs is that either the token gets burned or relative to the different economic needs of the protocol at a given specific time through governance, it could be redistributed to the holders, or it could be used to incentivize with a larger pool for the liquidity providers, or also increase staking rewards as well. So we can get really, really creative and make sure that we have a very robust system and also a very resilient system as well.
Belle, please carry on.
All right, Robbie Smith, when will the Jackal token itself drop?
When?
When? Love that.
When? I want a date. Look, no, you guys can giggle. We're not going to let you off there, man. I want to hear 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month. Give me one of those time frames. We must have one of those time frames. The Econ paper is out. We're going to digest this thing. We are going to absolutely eviscerate Emery with questions because I know that he wrote it. So we're going to hammer him, but we want to know, when's this token coming? This is what people care about, man. This is why you guys are on the podcast. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Come on.
So pending no other issues from external teams that is completely out of our control, we're hoping to get it done by the early next month, really.
So early next month. So we're saying, I'm going to put a date on it, and you just blink SOS if I'm right or wrong. So we're going to say May 15th.
let's go with that. Let's go with
There
that.
we go, guys, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. You're going to see this token in about a month. Now, here's my caveat pile onto this. How long till the system launches after the token launches? 2 weeks?
Yeah. So once the token launched, and this is the chicken or the egg, we already have a working product, right?
Mhm.
You guys tested on alpha. It's in a closed beta right now. But where we are now is we need to incentivize the miners. So we're going to be monitoring the amount of miners that hook in. We're going to be monitoring all kinds of different things. And as soon as we think that we are strong enough to handle the load on launch day, we'll be launching the product as well. The product's already ready.
So, oh, that is a beautiful. Look, I'm taking the whole screen here, guys. That's a beautiful answer because it's fun to talk about them. It's fun to get ginned up, and it's fun to be, but to have an actual functional product on the other side of it. There's a little unknown here. I'm not going to talk about. Well, it's a known. It was a very, very actually public known, but there was a reason that we backed off from that because we didn't feel the product was ready when the token launched, and then the token launched and people are not happy. So I wanted to make sure everything that does not happen here. So I'm specifically asking these questions, man, because I want to know if the damn thing is ready. Now, we did talk about it. You guys are going to give us a launch day special, right? Is this going to be it? Day before launch, I'm going to get access to the product. We're going to do a big-ass long live stream, and we're going to show everybody what they're investing in. Patrick, is that still on? Because Emery said I have to ask you specifically.
No, you got it, Scott. You've been our number one cheerleader since the start. We'll do that 100%.
That's what's going to happen, guys. So the day before launch, we're going to do a 2-hour live stream, and we are going to show you what you're investing in. Not the myth, not the what it could be. We are going to specifically show you everything that you're investing in. I think it's important because when you're investing in a product, you should know the product. When you're investing in a token, you should understand what you're investing in because you are putting up your capital basically on trust. So we like trust, but we're big fans of trust, but verify. So we're going to verify. That's what we're going to do. We're very excited. We're going to give away a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be a fun stream. There's no way Patrick or Marston's going to be there, but I bet we can get Emery for that. I bet we get Emery for this one. All right, Belle, take it away.
All right, dude. Any future perks for peeps staking on the secret Jackal DAO validator?
Ooh, that's a
good
really
question.
Good question.
That was.
Number one, you get double airdrop. That's one thing. Staking on the secret DAO validator. Really, right now, we can't promise you anything because we're focusing on one product and we have one token for that one product at this time. But if anything had risen, we always kick back to the people that have supported us the whole time. Right now, we're not doing a public sale or a launch pad. So if you want to support the team financially, the best way would be to stake with our validator. And that's one thing that's increasing our floor right now as we're burning through money, trying to get this thing off the ground. So if you want to support the team, 100% stake with the validator, and we really appreciate that.
Did you guys do you want us to do like a do you guys want us to do like a public stream, tip Jackal, help them stay in business because they can't actually get access to their money? I'm happy to do a telethon, dude. That'd be fun, dude. We could stack up a bunch of people calling in, trying to tip you crypto. I think this would be marvelous. Belle, please carry on.
All right, Sylvicor, I believe you mentioned you leverage Filecoin to run Jackal itself. Is Jackal dependent on the Filecoin network as much as it depends on the secret network? I may misunderstand the Filecoin role.
Yeah, so I'll let Marston speak to that, but we build the system very modularly since we're in Web3 and we can't really trust anything at this time. So we built it so that we row our own canoe 100%. But I'll let Marston talk about that.
Yeah. So right now, we leverage Filecoin as a cold storage layer. So our Jackal nodes are purely hot storage layer, and they deal with taking files in, taking files out, and doing all the transaction work. So they got to be really, really fast. But the Filecoin storage, we don't necessarily need to store every single file in existence that has ever gone through the Jackal system on our nodes if they haven't been touched for a very, very long time and they're not planning to be touched for a very long time. So those files can be archived over on the Filecoin network. So the Filecoin acts as like a cold storage / backup system. So if you have a file and you put it on our system and you don't touch it forever, then you come back like 5 years later, you don't want that file to be gone. And that could happen if one of our our hot storage nodes goes down and it's the only one holding that file. So we back it all up on the Filecoin system so that if all of the copies of your file somehow die, it will always exist on the Filecoin network. And once you retrieve that file again, it gets pulled back from the Filecoin network onto our hot storage and then gets redistributed across our own hot storage network so that you can begin using it again like it's hot storage.
Yeah, so the thing is that if you're not going to access a file, if you want to kind of layman's terms, our hot storage layer is just an information highway, really, right? So we only want to keep things that need to be there. If you're not accessing or querying your file, you got to get out of the fast lane so we can continue to offer that speed and utility that people are craving.
Yeah, and that's no different than than Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, Facebook, Google. It's no different. If you don't believe it, go back and try to send one of your photos that you took 2 years ago. Try to text it to somebody. And you see that big loading icon? That's it pulling out of cold storage to actually get up there. Again, this is I get it, man. This is kind of what I do here. All right, Belle, carry on, please.
Aslo, trying to get in for 3K. Do I need to spend any money to get airdrop? Do I have to stake to get airdrop?
Airdrop's over.
Yeah, so if you were staking with anything on the Secret network, anything on the Juno network, anything on the Atom network that wasn't an exchange validator or a 0% commission on April 9th, then you would have qualified, and we'll have a claim process soon so that you can go in and check if you qualified for the airdrop.
All right. So look, Belle, either I'm going to let you carry on or I'm going to start hitting these guys. Which way? Do we have more questions or do I need to go on to attack mode here?
We do have one more question, and then
hit
you
it
can
quick.
go into
yeah,
attack
and then
mode.
I'm going to have a go at him.
Sylvie Core, is any security that the secret network provides lost when it moves to cold storage on Filecoin?
No, all the files are fully encrypted.
All right, excellent. So, look, guys, we got about 8 more minutes. Look how tired these guys are. All right, they've got work to do, and we want to get them on and off the show so that they can get back to work. I'm going to ask a question very specifically to Patrick. How are you going to make me money, Patrick? How are you going to make me money as an investor? Tell me how you're going to do it, and let's caveat this. Explain it to a 5-year-old.
Explain to a 5-year-old how we're going to make you money?
Yep.
Yeah, so what Jackal is the value accrual token. So if you look at our fleet of services right now and everything that we have in our pipeline, we have 3 things in the pipeline. We have Shepherd, the web gateway. We have the Retriever, the name service to increase the ease of use for the Cosmos ecosystem and also easy use for sending files back and forth. And we have the flagship, which is the Jackal storage product. But for all of the products and services that come out of our pipeline, it all gets value captured to our token holders. And that's something that we find very, very important to us, because when you're investing in the product, we want you to get value capture from everything that we're doing. So if you invest in the token, we're increasing the intrinsic value of that token as time goes on with the different primitives that we come up with the different professional services, if we choose to do professional services. So everything gets value captured back to the token holder in that sense. When you want to talk about how the Jackal token increases in price as time goes on and more Jackal gets fluctuating, going through circulation. Emery was the guy to talk to about that particularly, though.
Well, fortunately, we got him right here. Emery, serve it up.
Yeah, so we made Jackal a use case token, which means that the more it's used, theoretically the price will be increased just the usage alone. So there are a couple different ways that Jackal token can increase in price, like I said, through usage as well as through traditional staking in the Cosmos network. So illiquid activities such as staking and providing liquidity will have a steady price increase, as well as using the token. What Jackal token is not is a speculative token. It's not built that way, and there are definitely going to be people who use the token that way. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want with your tokens, but you'll have much more success, I find, if you use the Jackal token for its intended use, which is buying Jackal products and services with it, as well as participating in those illiquid activities such as validating and providing liquidity.
So we're not really expecting any kind of booming explosive growth on this token, meaning that we don't expect to see these massive spikes and dips, these pumps and dumps. This is not the right token for that. Am I off base?
Yeah. So
No.
Okay. We got conflicting answers here. Somebody take it.
Yeah, I'll let Emery take it now. I was just saying, that's not what I meant.
That was great, man. You guys are my heroes. Go. Somebody go.
No, there's not supposed to. There's I mean, with every new token drop as on any kind of network, you're going to see some price fluctuations that don't necessarily reflect the use of the product well, just because it's so new, and that's just how the crypto market happens. But as time goes by, I think that one should see steady organic growth of this token, just because of how it's built. Like I said, it's a use case token, so the more often it's used, the more stable the price becomes, and the more people that participate in illiquid activities such as liquidity providing and staking, the price should increase as time goes by. So organic growth is what we're looking for, and that slow organic growth, I think, is more important than you seeing spikes of really high price action and really low price action. I think that indicates I think it personally indicates like a weak token, because it's on the whims of how people see it valued at a particular time, rather than people seeing its use case down the road.
Yeah, and I hate speculative tokens. I don't even play on them. So now that we all know that you are, in fact, an L1, so you guys are going to have your own validators, do you have an idea of the staking percentage for anybody who might be interested in coming in and supporting the network?
Are you talking about the APY?
Yeah.
Emery, if you want to talk about that as well. So about 30% of total inflation gets kicked to the stakers, and the APY will be relative to how many people are staking at a given time. But I'll let Emery touch on that as well.
That's what they want to know, Emery.
30% of the tokens that are being minted every year are going to the validators to kick out the inflation for the rest of the network. What the actual APR and APY is, it's not like determinable right out of the gate, because we don't know like how many people are going to be validating and how many tokens are going to be staked or not. But the easiest way to see that and what's going to occur in the next like couple of months after the token is released is just knowing that 30% of that circulating token supply is going to the validators. So that's what we initially are going to see, but it will fluctuate as more and more validators come online. So expect that to go up or down just depending on how quickly validators come online and how quickly people stake. So, but initially 30% is the target.
And I'm personally good with that, because you guys are hitting every single wicket for me: the slow organic growth, the non-pump and dumps, the non-speculative nature on that. Basically, you're going to give me 30% and slow organic growth to have you hold my money. I'm good with that. Guys, we are getting real close to the end. Marston has simply not talked enough. So, Marston, I'm going to give you 45 seconds to say any damn thing you want, because you're just sitting there being quiet, man. 45 seconds. You are in the spotlight, sir. Please take it away.
Oh, man, I guess I really want to just make sure that like everybody knows that we are still like all Jackal storage is still an L2. It's a smart contract on the secret network, and then we interface that with our own L1. That is all its own part of the network. It's not all encompassing, and they interact with each other so that you are still using the secret network, but all of our token side of things is done through our chain, as well as all of our extra side projects that are both future and like currently in works in like very early stages. They're coming on as like chain modules, so they're not going to be smart contracts. They're going to be built directly into our chain, So that brings really, really low gas costs. And that's the aim that we're taking for a lot of our side projects down the road.
I think that's excellent, man. I'm sorry. It's elegant. It is beautiful. It is elegant. It is unique. I'm a big fan because I think you guys cracked this. Last question, and then we're going to let you go. Patrick, how much is this going to cost per month?
It's for storage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now we're going to be starting off at $8 a month per terabyte. We expect that as data cost goes down over time, it's going to decrease over time as well.
How much did Dropbox cost?
$22 a month per terabyte.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I'm sorry, man. Look, I'm a big fan of cheaper. You guys are doing it better. You're doing it safer. You are doing it cheaper. That's 3 out of 3 wickets for me, man. So even if I don't buy your token, I promise you I'm a customer. All right, look, we're just about to the end of it. We actually ran over time. I'm going to give each one of the developers 30 seconds, and then Belle's going to talk us out of here. So, Patrick, why don't you start us off? 30 seconds. Tell me anything you want to tell me.
Anything I want to tell you. I'm just really excited about the different enterprise use cases of this right now. A big focus of my day is interfacing with different stakeholders from different industries and what they want to do with the token. And we're really excited about different use cases we have right now, where you have really the highest digital privacy and cybersecurity posture available on market. And the different use cases that we can run with that is really, really exciting right now. So we're looking at secure means of communications for example, military use cases. If you want to send a file back and forth, they literally put servers on planes because that's the most secure way to do it. We have a really, really great product for that. Look at e-discovery options. You look at essentially everyone needs storage. So I'm just getting really excited about the different use cases, and people are coming every day with, I want to build a Trilio comparable. I want to build an Adobe sign. I want to build this. I want to build that. And we're just really excited to facilitate that.
Excellent. Emery, 30 seconds, man.
Yeah, so as Patrick said, the Econ paper will be coming out shortly after the stream for everyone to see, and we definitely encourage questions and critique. And I'll be busy over the next couple of days answering those questions as best I can. So if you have any questions about how it's supposed to work, then absolutely please message me. We welcome any and all criticisms when it comes to our product.
Marston, 30 seconds, man. Go.
Well, first off, you got your 50 viewers at the same time. That
dude, this is the best we've done on a live stream for a while. They're not here for me. They're here for you guys because you know what? They're investors and they know they're going to make money on this. So go ahead, man.
Yeah. As far as we got a lot of questions for airdrops. Follow us on Twitter. Join our Discord. The second that we get our airdrop claiming process done, it'll go out. Any announcements that we make, I mean, we'll definitely hear on your show. But if you want it straight out of our mouths, that's where you're going to get it.
That's excellent. Belle, you know what? For the first time ever, I'm giving you 20 seconds, and I'm going to talk us out of here. Belle, go.
All right. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, wow. Thank you for all the fantastic questions. Patrick, Marsden, Emery, as always, great to have you guys on. We do look forward to having you guys on right for the token launch. That's gonna be freaking awesome.
It's gonna be so exciting. I cannot wait for that one. Belle, let me finish this one up and we'll talk offline. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, man. Look, I never do this, and you guys have been watching me for a long, long time, and you know that I never do this. You have just been introduced to your golden ticket. I mean, you absolutely have. This is something that is not being done in blockchain. I'm pretty much done talking about DEXs. As much as I like them, it's moving money from A to B to C, and that's great. I want to get behind products. I want to get behind legacy world-facing products. This is such a legacy world-facing product. Now, like all products, all right, this one is not a cash grab. It cannot function like that. It's designed not to function like that. It's not going to sit here. It's going to bloom and it's going to die. It's not going to do any of those things. It's going to be the slow organic growth that I am absolutely looking for because they are hitting the features that are simply missing from everything else that's out here right now. Privacy, security, and price. They hit all 3 of those things. Now, it might take the world a little bit of time to catch up with this, but the world will catch up with this. Every time you know what this is, and we didn't even talk about it tonight, this is the 100% perfect guarantee against ransomware attacks. We never even talked about that. Every time you open the newspaper, you see ransomware. It took out a generator. It took out a pipeline. It took out a hospital. if these same people were with Jackal, they could say, go ahead, ransomware us away, knock yourself out. We're just going to restore from backup. This is where what they can do, and they are poised to do it right now. So if you're looking for an investment, this is an investment. I'm putting into it. I don't care if you do. Even if you don't invest, use the product because it is here for you. And before it goes live, we're going to show you every bit of it. You just heard the man who runs it says, yeah, knock yourself out. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough for joining us on the stream, man. We love hosting these, and we love hosting Jackal. I'm sorry I didn't really attack dog them as much as I should have. And, I tried, man, but I'm wearing a tie. So for some reason, it seems like I should be more serious. But look, guys, man, it's all out there. The Econ paper is dropping. Read it. If you need to know where to go to get answers to your questions, Jackal, just go to their Discord. And if you want to do it real personally, the Sith Lord himself, Emery, wrote it. And he's on our Discord. So if you got questions, comments, concerns, it's not like you're going to have to search far for answers. All right? Everything is on the table on this one because it's the type of product that everything can be on the table. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Stream's available for replay if you want to share it with your friends. Nobody does, but if you do, it's right there. My absolute heart goes out to Jackal for coming back and joining us again. I didn't think they would. I was pretty hard on them the first time they came on, so it means the world to me that they did. And until next time, guys, you'll see us Thursday night, but until then, please stay safe. Please be smart with your money. Cheers. We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.